Hello folks, it's that time of year again where we find ourselves on the Auto Express website looking at the best cars to own according to the Driver Power Survey. Now this is a survey that's had 91,000 respondents, and results of these things really are as good as those responses. Some people are very defensive about the car they buy, some people are hypercritical about the car they buy, and as a general rule of thumb you'll tend to find the cheaper the car, the more forgiving people are with their results. Let's have a look at it. But firstly, this is how they score everything, and let me just talk you through this. So you've got the car when it was first released. Now the Driver Power Survey is new cars in this instance, so that should be cars that are under 5 years old, but some of the cars might have been introduced to the market prior to that date. Then you've got some little standout features, the overall score, and then the categories is the important bit. So if the category, say powertrain, say your car's 50, that means in the top 50 cars, your car's number 50. So basically, the more of these dark orange boxes you see, the better. Number one would be best in class for that particular thing. So I hope that makes sense. Take all this with a little bit of a pinch of salt, but 91,000 respondents is a decent number. Number 25 is the Tesla Model 3. It's the Mk1 version of the car. So that came in 2019. I think the cars were still being made in the US at the time, and it's when they had a few build quality issues. That seems to have been rectified since the cars we get here have been being produced in China, etc. The powertrain's got a fairly good result, no surprise there. Exterior's got a very low score, so that's basically how it looks, and also sort of how well it's worn. Any build quality issues, anything like that, again, we did see those on those early Teslas. Brand new cars being delivered with cracked windscreens and ill-fitting panel gaps and stuff like that. Interior and comfort, not fantastic on that. Obviously, they're very bare, aren't they? They're very minimalist, not for everyone, but if you bought one, you think you probably liked it. Practicality and space is not that great. I don't really understand that, because for a car of its size, you've got absolutely loads of boot space and you've got that front space. Ride and handling's not amazing. They were known for being a bit fidgety and a bit crashy, but I don't think they're that bad in fairness. Safety features very good. Economy and running costs good. Massively efficient cars, so I don't know why that wouldn't be higher really when you look at sort of the other things available at that time in its class. Reliability and build quality, decent. Infotainment, connectivity and electrics, decent. Overall value is low. Don't really understand that one. I guess people thinking, well, the car depreciated a bit, but still one of the best value for money EVs in my book. BMW 3 Series Mark 7, 85.29%. The interior has high quality materials and modern technology, and it manages to be both sporty and practical. That sums up a 3 Series for you, really, doesn't it? Powertrain is pretty good. That's probably the best score, although value's a good score, which is unusual for a BMW. Economy and running costs and reliability and build quality let it down. Maybe some of those dreaded timing chain stretch issues. I'm not really too sure. Toyota Corolla Mark 12, so that's 2019 onwards. Absolutely brilliant result for it in terms of value. Reliability and build quality is a superb result, but I wouldn't have been surprised to have seen it a bit higher than that. Ride and handling's very good. Where it sort of misses out a little bit, interior and comfort, and I'd agree with the interior's not amazing. Infotainment, connectivity and electrics, yeah, the infotainment system in that car feels like it's from another era. And practicality and space could be better. Of course, you could get the estate version of the car, and then you've got that one sorted, haven't you? Audi A5 Mark II 2016 onwards. That scores badly for reliability and build quality, and also for ride and handling, and not great on exterior actually. And it's a great looking car, so that must be issues with trim and stuff like that, I would imagine. Otherwise it does fairly well. MGHS Mark 1, I cannot believe anyone's given that a bad result for value, because that's a lot of car for the money and always has been. Powertrain lets it down. Infotainment, connectivity and electrics, and you know, famously the MGs to date haven't had the best reliability record, but look where it scores well: exterior, interior and comfort, practicality and space, ride and handling, safety features, economy and running costs. All in all, not a bad showing, I'd say. The Honda CR-V, this is the Mark 5s. That's the 2016 one that went out, I think, in maybe 2023. The auto gearbox makes it easy to drive, and it has a powerful engine and maintenance costs are low. It's also a CVT automatic gearbox, which is not the best thing to drive. Powertrain really lets it down, as does the exterior. Scores well in safety features. That's the primary win there for the CR-V. Interior and comfort, practicality and space. Infotainment and electrics, connectivity, etc. Doesn't get a bad result. I thought it might have done a bit worse than that, to be fair. And I thought it might have done a little bit better on reliability and build quality, which is a bit of a shame. Folks, just a very quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks. Fuel economy is an issue with it. Engine sound, ride quality and road handling are other things that people didn't particularly like. The Civic Mark 11, which is a fantastic car. It's one of my favourite new cars, the Civic Mark 11. That came in 2022. Biggest problem with it for me is the price tag. Now, according to this, it scores bang last for ride and handling, which I can't quite believe, because the ride and handling are really quite good on that car. That's bizarre. I wonder if that's a misprint or something, but maybe not. Top 10 for quality and reliability, while owners seem to appreciate the cabin features, practicality, awarding 4th for the balance between touchscreen and physical buttons, and 8th for user friendliness of controls. There's also an 8th for boot space, and rear seat legroom ranks 12th, but front seat comfort is 49th. Owners also rank the ride and handling attributes poorly, so it's not a mistake. I disagree with that. I think it rides fantastically well, and I think the powertrain's great as well. It's super frugal. It's still got a decent amount of performance, and the eCVT gearbox, which is not really a gearbox, actually works brilliantly well and is a vast improvement from some of the automatics we've seen in Hondas in the past. And it's got sort of a pseudo gear change thing, so it does feel like you're driving a car with a dual clutch. I'm really surprised by that. I must admit, I would score that car very differently, but then I don't live with one on a daily basis. Vauxhall Mk1 Mark 2, that scores fairly well across the board, apart from interior and comfort and practicality and space. Number 17 is the BMW 1 Series Mark 3. That scores badly on economy and running costs and value for money. Peugeot 3008 Mark II is at number 16. That one came in 2016. Scores poorly for reliability and build quality, infotainment, connectivity and electrics and value, but does pretty well elsewhere. The Mark 1 Tesla Model Y, that came in 2020. That does appallingly for exterior and appallingly for value, but everything else is pretty blooming good. Ride and handling's the other one it doesn't do so well in. A lot of people find them firm and a bit skittish and stuff. I've never found it particularly problematic, but I can see where people are coming from with that. But in everything else, it sort of aces it. And I'm really surprised that that doesn't correlate to a car that's good value somehow. If its performance is good, its interior is good, it's practical and spacious, it's got loads of safety features, it's economical to run, reliability and build quality are good, and infotainment, connectivity and electrics are good, I would suggest that's probably quite a good value car. No? Honda Jazz Mark 4, 87%. That really only falls down on safety features and the exterior. It's not the boldest of designs, is it? Let's have that quite clear. And value, because they are quite high price tag. But for me, part of value comes economy and running costs and reliability and build quality, which are absolutely superb. So again, I think people score the value really harshly. I think a lot of people look at value as price, and it's not. It's what you get for your money. The Hyundai Tucson is next. The Mark 4, that's 2020 onwards. That scores really well right across the board. The only places it's let down really is economy and running costs and powertrain. It's not the most exciting powertrain. Citroen C3 Mark 3, 2016 onwards. I'm surprised by this one simply because of that PureTech engine and how well they last. But I guess we are looking at cars here, although that's been around since 2016, You know, the survey is about cars in the last 5 years. So perhaps some of these haven't developed any faults as yet, or haven't cost people too much money, but that scores fairly well across the board. The Mark IV Mercedes A-Class is in number 11. It's only economy and running costs that let it down, but otherwise it does fairly well. The powertrain could be better as well. If you get the entry-level versions of the cars, they are a little bit underpowered and a little bit meh. But otherwise, it's a lovely thing. I've had one a couple of times as a hire car and always enjoyed my time with it. BMW 2 Series Mark II. That scores badly on exterior. I think it's a great looking car. And I have to think, if you've bought one, probably you do too. I know they're not to everyone's taste, so maybe that's like trim quality, problems with panels, panel gaps. I don't know. Maybe it's something more to do with the build quality of the exterior rather than the looks. But I think it's a great looking car. And look at the scores on that. It does really well in every category. I've got a lot of time for the BMW 2 Series. Mark II Dacia Duster. These always do well in these surveys. But lots of people with Dacias make it a full-time occupation telling you how great their car is. Powertrain is awful. But aside from that, it's pretty good. Ride and handling could be better. Reliability and build quality is pretty good. But the rest of it is all really good. I think the thing is, it's really old, tried and tested technology. They are absolutely built to a price. Look at this. It's got one of the worst powertrains, but it gets the best score for value. And that's going back to what I said earlier. People associate value with price, not for what you get for your money. If I buy a box of eggs for 50p and it's only got 3 eggs in it, I consider that to be much worse value than a box of 12 eggs that cost me £1. Citroen C5 Aircross Mark 1. That doesn't do so well on reliability, build quality, infotainment connectivity and electrics and value. I think the infotainment bit, it's quite an old system that's in loads of the Stellantis cars, and with things like your CarPlay, it can disconnect and just like in motion sometimes and be a little bit of a faff. Otherwise, it's not too bad, I don't think. Ride and handling's good. Practicality and space is very good. And it's one of few cars out there that you can get 3 child seats in the middle row, or the back row, if you like. It's the back row. It's only got 2 rows. But not too many cars can do that. You can sometimes get 2 child seats in and squeeze someone else in the middle, but this one you can get 3 car seats in, and that's a brilliant thing if you've got more than the average 2.4 children or whatever it is. Number 7 is the BMW 4 Series. I absolutely love the 4 Series. Economy and running costs the worst thing. Value's not quite so good, but everything else is exceptionally good. Number 6 is the Vauxhall Crossland. I'm very surprised to see Vauxhall featuring heavily toward the top in this latest driver power survey. Seems odd for a load of cars loaded with PureTech engines, but who knows. Scores badly for safety features, and it's not even on the score sheet for value, yet everything else scores really, really well. Odd. Number 5 is the Mercedes C-Class Mark V. That scores well across the board, apart from economy and running costs. Ride and handling could be a bit better. Number 4 is the Ford Kuga Mark III, so that's the 2019 onwards. Middle of the road on value, but otherwise it scores quite well. Economy and running costs, maybe if you've got the 1.5 litre, but then once again, you know, it's going to age like a pint of milk. Vauxhall Astra Mark 8 does exceptionally well. Like in every area, it's boom, 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 boom. It does really well. It's actually got 2 awards in this driver power thing. Bronze Award in Car of the Year, and the winner of Best Family Car. One of the owners here says it's smooth, quiet and very comfortable. It has an impressive range of driver assurance tech and looks stunning after 3 years and 50,000 miles. But if it's one of those 1.2 PureTechs, it might not be looking quite so clever after another 50,000 miles. Number 2 is the Vauxhall Grandland, another Vauxhall which pretty much aces almost everything. And number 1, the best car to live with, best car to own, as voted by you, the audience, in the driver power survey, is the Mercedes GLE Mark IV. The GLE's luxurious interior, smooth ride and advanced tech make it a joy to drive, and it's roomy enough for family and luggage. That wins Car of the Year in the driver power survey, and the winner of Best Large Premium SUV. The only area where it doesn't absolutely ace the scores, beat economy and running costs. I'm absolutely bemused by some of these results, particularly the strong performance by Vauxhall, considering the PureTech engines, but I guess they're just not old enough yet. We're looking at cars under 5 years old, and I've driven lots of them. I've had one. And actually, they're generally really easy cars to live with. They drive nicely. They've got plenty of equipment. So I can see why they do well, but it's that long-term reliability thing that would be looming over me like a cloud, and I would be a little bit worried about that. But let me know your thoughts in the video description. Please like, follow, share, all that kind of good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.